More FPL. Today it's time for my Gameweek 2 preview, and I'll start by briefly reviewing Gameweek 1. I'll then discuss the top 3 transfers in for each position so far this game week. I'll finish by outlining my plans this week in terms of transfers, starting 11 and captaincy. So before talking about Game Week 2, let's briefly review my Game Week 1 score. I had a good week with 77 points, where Captain Salah and Haaland were the heroes. I got a goal from Martinelli, and my defensive players got clean sheets, apart from the Liverpool double-up. Neto and Jesus blanked, and my subs all played, albeit Archer only briefly. Andreas played well. More FPL. Now let's discuss the 3 most popular transfers in each position so far this game week. So let's start with goalkeepers, where the top target is Edouard Mendy of Chelsea, who got a clean sheet. He remains a decent option at 5 million, as he should get semi-regular clean sheets, but not much bonus. Chelsea's fixtures are pretty good in the opening period, apart from Spurs next week. I rarely make goalkeeper transfers, so Mendy isn't of interest to me right now. Next is Danny Ward of Leicester, who is now clearly the budget goalkeeper of choice. There was some doubt whether he would be number 1 following Kasper Schmeichel's departure. But Rodgers' comments and then starting the first match means he's clearly ahead of Everson. Leicester don't have great fixtures to start, but 8 million does at least guarantee you a starting keeper. If I didn't have him already, I wouldn't use a transfer just to get a better backup. Last is Ederson of Man City, who got a clean sheet and only faced 1 shot on target. West Ham was probably the most difficult early fixture too, so more clean sheets will surely come. Ederson is cheaper than some of their defenders, but more expensive than Walker and Ake. I think he's only really an option when all the defenders are fit and rotation kicks in. He's unlikely to get any save points or bonus points, so his ceiling is pretty low. More FPL. Now let's talk about defenders, starting with Alexander Zinchenko of Arsenal. He got an assist and a clean sheet before being replaced by Kieran Tierney late on. He's looking like the best 5 million option, at least until Matt Doherty of Spurs gets fitter. Arsenal have good fixtures, and he can also play in midfield once Tierney is fully back. Next is Fabian Schär of Newcastle, who got a goal and a clean sheet. He does get the odd goal, but isn't prolific by any means, so I wouldn't get him on that basis. Newcastle have Man City and Liverpool in the next 4, so I wouldn't target them at the moment. When fixtures get better, I prefer Kieran Trippier as an option, as he gets a good share of set pieces. Last is William Saliba of Arsenal, who got a clean sheet and 2 bonus points. Let's see if he can keep getting bonus points, but he's only scored 1 goal in his young career. I'd also be wary of picking a centre-back right now, due to the uncertainty over Arsenal's strongest team. Once Tomiyasu returns at right-back, we'll see what Arteta's preferred centre-back pairing actually is. More FPL. Now let's talk about midfielders, starting with Dejan Kulusevski of Spurs, who got a goal and an assist. He outshone the more expensive Son and Kane, and should keep his place despite the return of Richarlison. He played well when he joined in January, and appears to have picked up where he left off. The 8 million midfielder bracket is strong, but he's certainly up there with Diaz and Saka, among others. Spurs have 4 good fixtures coming up after Chelsea next week. Next is Gabriel Martinelli of Arsenal, who scored and outshone Saka and Jesus. Emile Smith-Rowe didn't make the squad, so he should be safe from rotation for now. Arsenal have good fixtures coming up, and he's possibly the pick of the sub-8 million midfielders. If you're not on an Arsenal triple up already, he could be a player to target if you need a midfielder. Last is Pascal Gross of Brighton, who got 2 goals in the opener against my team, Man United. This is a classic knee-jerk transfer you should probably be looking to avoid. He scored 2 and Brighton have good fixtures, but he's not been prolific in the past. That doesn't mean he's a terrible option at 5.5 million, but you should manage your expectations. More FPL. Finally, let's talk about forwards, starting with Erling Haaland of Man City, who got a brace. A lot of people plumped for Harry Kane for the Southampton fixture versus Haaland at West Ham. Some will have planned the transfer to Haaland for Gameweek 2, others will have changed their mind. The fact he appears to be on penalties, albeit he did win this one, just adds to his appeal. Everything just seems to go through him, and the supply will only improve in time. The switch makes a lot of sense to me, particularly if you can do it for free. Next is Alexander Mitrovic of Fulham, who got an unexpected brace against Liverpool. His underlying attacking numbers were strong though, so it's not like he just got lucky. Fulham have a tough opening run in general, but who knows, maybe they'll continue like this. I still wouldn't be bringing him in just yet, until their fixtures improve. Last is Darwin Núñez of Liverpool, who had another strong performance off the bench. He had incredibly high underlying attacking numbers, considering he's only on the pitch for 40 minutes. It surely won't be long until he gets a place in the starting lineup, possibly even next game week. Klopp does like to ease new players in though, and Firmino and Jota, when he returns, are good options. I think he's worth bringing in if you don't have triple Liverpool, but I wouldn't wildcard just to get him. More FPL. Finally, what are my plans this week in terms of transfers, starting 11 and captaincy? For this week, it's a pretty easy roll of the transfer to leave me 2 for next week, or a mini wildcard. Jesus blanked, but showed enough to give him more chances, especially while the fixtures remain good. Neto also blanked, but again played well, and the fixtures are decent until game week 6. I already have Haaland in place for captaincy at home to Bournemouth, as planned. But Salah at home to Palace is a good alternative if there's any doubts over Haaland's fitness. There's an argument to start Pereira over Neto, but I think I'll give Neto another chance. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. What are your plans for this game week, and has this video helped your decision making? Add your own thoughts and questions in the comments, and I'll try to get through as many as I can. Never miss a pre-season video or game week preview by subscribing and turning on notifications. More FPL.